Hello there, very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us here on M7, My Mind Matters. My name is Paul Beck. I'm a success coach and mindset trainer. If you're looking to improve the quality of your thinking so that you can create the reality of your dreams, you are absolutely in the right place. So throughout this workshop, and it is a workshop because I love to give you the experience of what I'm talking about, rather than just talking about it and telling you what you can do, I want you to experience the power of your mind. And My Mind Matters explores lots of different avenues, gives you lots of different exercises, lots of different things you can do to improve the quality of your thinking. Now, week after week after week after week, and this is every Monday, it's a weekly workshop, I always say you need to practice. So tonight I want to focus on deliberate practice, the opportunity to come back to this week after week after week after week, even better on a daily basis. In fact, I just written a newsletter. It comes out in a couple of weeks' time. But the newsletter is showing you all the apps that are available to help you with mindfulness, to help you with your mindset, to help you with productivity. There are so many apps out there that can tap into, but the importance is you can do it on a daily basis. One of my favorites, in fact, is the favorite, is called Positive Intelligence. Feel free to go and look at that, positiveintelligence.com. If that appeals to you, reach out to me and ask about it because I can share more information with you. And I love it because it's literally just a few minutes in the morning. When I say a few minutes, you might think, 10, 15, 20. No. 2 or 3 minutes at the very most in the morning. And then you get a 3-hour window to tap in again, a 3-hour window to tap in again, a 3-hour window to tap in again. And then at the end of the evening, you're going to hear the word journaling, and you might think, I could never do the journaling. It's literally one question and one answer. All you could do is write down one sentence. You do it all on your phone. And that's the beauty of technology today. It makes it quick, simple, and most importantly for me, it is a daily practice. So do feel free to go and check that out. That's positiveintelligence.com. Now, really, this is all about your mindset. This is all about giving you the opportunity to be more positive. And I'm not just talking positive thinking. Please don't get me wrong. You will hear me talking about thinking positively, and that is important. But this is not only positive thinking. All the information I share with you is to help you improve your quality of thinking. So you've got the opportunity to create the life of your dreams. And I really do believe that you can be, have, or do anything you want. And if you're thinking that's crazy, that's impossible, listen, go to my website, engagewithsuccess.com, and jump onto the resources button, and there's plenty of resources there. I'm not the only person that believes in this, and I'm not talking just a crazy guy. You will see neuroscientists, you will see world leading coaches that are sharing exactly the same story. Now, personally, I've been working on this for 35 years. This is not a new idea or a new concept to me. And Engage with Success engages my model, the model that I use, because I believe that many of the books, most of the books that you're going to read, will focus on one particular area of your mindset. For example, focus or attention or decision making, goal setting. And these are all important areas. But Engage is a holistic system, holistic as in the whole, and it will show you exactly what to do. So what I tap into here on M7 for Mondays at 7, My Mind Matters, is really matters of the mind. And these are all coming together, whether you go through the newsletter, whether you go through the podcast, the broadcast, whether you read the different articles. There's all sorts of ways that you can find out the information. But the fact is, you must practice it. And the more deliberate you are at practicing it, then the better you're going to become. And hence, that's what tonight's is all about, deliberate practice. Because ultimately, and this is proven, I'm going to use the word neuroscience here. Neuro is the brain, science, the study of. So it's now proven that repetition is the best way to your subconscious mind. And why is that? Because in the brain, and again, feel free to go and do your own research, as I encourage you to. Please don't just listen to what I do. Go out there, do more research, and then you will want to come back because you'll know I'm talking sense. In your brain, you have lots of neural pathways. Now, if you use it now and again, think of it as a pathway. But when you do something over and over and over again, it becomes much thicker, much stronger. A little bit like a muscle on your arm. You work it, it gets bigger. You work it, it gets bigger. And you can imagine if you do that for a week, it might help. But if you do it for a month, you might see improvement. If you do it for 3 months, more improvement. If you do it for a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, obviously the muscles get bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah, that makes sense. You understand that. It's exactly the same with the neural pathways. You exercise them, and when I say exercise, that's what I'm talking about, tapping into apps on a daily basis, even just listening to one of these every day. Come and listen to the same one if you wanted to, every day for a week. And then when the new one comes out, listen to that for an entire week. But tapping into this information and practicing deliberately will change everything for you, because your muscle grows and that little pathway becomes a much stronger. Think of it as being a grassy pathway, and then it becomes a dirt track, and then it's got cement slabs on it, so now it's easier to walk on. But now it becomes a B road. Now it becomes an A road. Now it becomes a dual carriageway, and eventually, with enough practice, it can become a motorway. And when it's a motorway, that means that you've really mastered your mind, and it's working in the way that you want it to. Listen, your mind can be your best friend, but it can also be your worst enemy. And if you don't learn to embrace, if you don't learn to harness the power of your mind, then it will do what it wants. I dare say you often hear yourself with negative self-talk. I'm not talking about talking to yourself. It's an internal dialogue. I'm not trying to be funny here. This is what's going on inside your head. And it's said that we have 40 to 60,000 thoughts per day. Some neuroscientists saying it could be 70,000 or even more. That's 1 every second of our waking hours. Can you imagine that? Now, if the vast majority of those are negative, and it's thought to be as much as 90% of our thoughts are negative or the same thoughts as we had yesterday, and so we're not moving forward, then it's going to be your worst enemy. Because if you feel like you're in a rut, if you feel like you're just going round and round and round in circles, if you feel like you're on that wheel of life, the treadmill of life, and you're not getting anywhere, that's because your thoughts are the same as the day before, the day before, the day before, the day before. You need to learn to think above the crowd. You need to learn to think in new and different ways. That's what this is all about. And the best way to get to your subconscious mind, because consciously you can think, oh yeah, I know what I'm thinking. And that's helpful. But if you want to access the vast majority of your modus operandi, your operating system, then that's a little bit like Windows on your computer or OS on your iPhone. This is an operating system. You don't see it. You use the apps. Think of the apps as being your conscious thoughts, but underneath that, operating everything, controlling it all, is the operating system. And we don't get to see that. And that's really what this is all about, giving you the opportunity to tap into it and get mind mastery and emotional management and start to live the life of your dreams. Start to live your life in a very intentional way. Okay, I've done quite a big intro, and I know I have a terrible habit of talking, because this is a passion for me. This is absolutely what I love. And that's why I became a coach 13 years ago now and started helping as many people as I can. This is really, for me, I'm on a mission to help people thrive. And it's not just financially. I'd love to help you. If you want to double your income and double your time off, get in touch. I always offer a free 15-minute discovery call. I prefer to call it a strategy call, because I will give you strategies. I try to help you on that call. Feel free to reach out. Go to engagewithsuccess.com, and then there's a contact page. You can get hold of me there, or connect page, and we can get in touch, and I give you a 15-minute discussion. I can learn a little bit about you, and I can start to help you. And if you like what I'm talking about, then we could even work together. But these workshops are free. The newsletter is free. So take advantage of all the free resources that I offer you. And if at some point you start to engage with success, you start to feel your connection, you start to gravitate towards the life that you want, then let me help you accelerate that. Let's accelerate your success. Now, for those of you that are new to this, I use 3 major tools, and these are all tools to help you really get in touch with your own mind. I like to call it being in a state of grace. The state suggests that the way you're thinking and the way that you're feeling are aligned with the life that you would like to have. And so you're feeling really good. But of course, throughout the day, we're going to fall from that state of grace. And when you do, what I'm about to share with you, these 3 techniques are the perfect way to get back into your state of grace. I hope all that's making sense to you. Now, of course, you can email me if you have got any questions afterwards. I use these platforms, although this is a live recording, I do these platforms because I can't hear you, and you may well be making noise. I can't see you because I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, and I don't want you to feel like I can hear or see you. So that's why I don't do this on Zoom. I'm not knocking Zoom, I love Zoom, but I don't need to see you. I don't need to hear you. I want you to feel like you're in the privacy of your own home and you can operate and be as noisy as you would like. And you can really enjoy this moment because it's completely and utterly private. Now, if you get the opportunity to join me on Mondays at 7, that's when the live broadcast is made. However, you can always go to social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, all of those things, and you can listen to it as a podcast or you can watch it as a broadcast. Let's get started. All righty. So M7, My Mind Matters. Let's start with breath work. So if that's new to you, not a term that you're understanding, I want you to close your eyes, get comfortable in your seat. And start breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. So take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. You might want to do the same thing. Just let it all out. Maybe you've had a tough day, first day of the week. Maybe you've been at work today. You feel like you're struggling, you've had a hard time. Maybe somebody's wound you up. Maybe something's not going your way. Maybe you spent your money a little too quickly this month. Maybe the bills were a little heavier than you anticipated. Now, the importance of this is that all of those things will be going on in our lives, but we often focus on the drama. And by focusing on the drama, you're probably making a much, much bigger deal out of it. Now, I'm not saying that I can just make that disappear or evaporate or go away, but we can approach the difficulties, the challenges in our life in a much better way. And so tonight, we're going to focus on discipline and practice. Because within the complex realm of the human mind, the pursuit of mastery, and that's what this is all about, mastery, is guided by 2 essential cornerstones. That's discipline and practice. So rather than have 2 things, I prefer to bring them together and make it disciplined practice. So it's just one thing to focus on. Now, navigating through the realms of thought and emotion requires that we are deliberate and we are focused. And it's through this disciplined practice that you will get to achieve profound levels of mind mastery and emotional management. That's what this is all about. Being in charge of your life, being in charge of your thoughts. I'm not saying you will never get negative thoughts. They will creep up on you. Even with my years of practice, oh boy, when you're not looking, they could come and creep up on you. But the moment you recognize them, you can stop it. And you'll experience that tonight. Now, whilst I'm chatting away, there's a very good chance that your mind may wander. And if it does, that's the whole point of this first exercise. Just recognize that it is wandered and bring it back. So the recognition is the very first step, and then the regulation is the second step. So you understand that your mind's wandered, you go, hang on, I want you to do what I want you to do. And so then you just bring it back. Okay, take a nice deep breath in through the nose for 1, 2, 3. Hold on to it for 1, 2, 3, and let it out for 1, 2, 3. Nice deep breath in through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on to it for 1, 2, 3, 4, and let it out for 1, 2, 3, 4. Last one, let's go for 5. In through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on to it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let it out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue breathing at your own pace. Try to get really, really comfortable. Keeping your eyes closed. Just listen to the words that I share with you. And again, we're talking about discipline and practice. Deliberate practice, I like to call this. So discipline is needed. There's no doubt about it. Discipline is important. If you're not disciplined, your mind can be controlling you. And discipline is the cornerstone upon which mind mastery and emotional management are built. Think of it as a guiding force that directs your thoughts and your actions towards your intentional growth. And by exercising discipline, you can create a structured framework that supports your efforts to understand, to navigate, and regulate. There's that word again, regulate your emotions. So discipline instills the ability to clear intentions, to make conscious choices, and maintain consistency in practices that enhance your mental clarity and emotional stability. Just imagine that for a moment. Mental clarity and emotional stability. How much in control of your life would that feel? To be clear on what you're thinking, to be clear on where you're going, to be clear on what it is you want to do, and to be emotionally stable. That's a great step in the right direction for fulfillment. Now, discipline empowers you to break free from the sway of fleeting impulses and short-term gratification. And unfortunately, that's what many people do. That short-term gratification means it's so easy to make a choice because you get what you want faster. But actually, that's quick and easy now, but it's not going to get you that long-term goal. It's a little bit like, this is just one example. It's not the only example, but one example is when we eat biscuits or eat candy bars or eat chocolate because it just feels good now. It makes me feel better now. But actually, as you put on the pounds, it makes you feel worse in the long run. So discipline reinforces the understanding that true mastery requires consistent and dedicated effort over time. Now, the role of practice, and that's what I say week after week after week after week, do this at least weekly. And if you can do it daily, even better. Daily is even better because you're working out every day. So discipline alongside practice, or as I like to call it, deliberate practice. Think of this as the engine that drives mind mastery and emotional management. It's the engine. It's the driving force. Think of an example. A musician, there you go. A musician refines their skills through hours of practice. And the mind requires consistent exercise to develop its capacity for awareness understanding, and control. And practice can encompass a range of breathwork exercises. That's what we're doing right now. We're going to do mindfulness after that. And then finally today, we're going to go into meditation. And all of these encourage you to engage with your thoughts and emotions in a purposeful manner. That's the importance here. So through discipline and deliberate practice, you become attuned to the subtle nuances of your inner experiences. Now, regular mindfulness that we'll do next, this can help you observe your thoughts without judgment. It can allow you to achieve or to distance yourself from negative patterns. And ultimately, you can cultivate a more balanced perspective. So with dedicated practice, you will begin to identify triggers. You'll learn to reframe unproductive thought patterns, and you can enhance your emotional intelligence. How epic would that feel? Now, the breath work I love because it's something you can do. You can tap into this so quickly and easily. You could use this at work. If you've got your own office, clearly you could do that easily. Maybe you've got a cubicle. If not, you could get outside, sit down in the seat, go to the bathroom, close the door, and hide away in the loo and just close your eyes and take some nice deep breaths and reconnect with your inner self. Reconnect with your inner coach or your inner sage. There are lots of different terms that people use. Okay, let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on to it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let it out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. When you're ready, feel comfortable to open your eyes. How did that feel? Maybe some of you are feeling sleepy, 7 o'clock in the evening. You might have had a hard day. Maybe it's been hot and sunny where you are. And now you feel like, I'm ready to doze off. Hey, listen, that's why I prefer you to sit in your chair and get your spine nice and straight if you can do that. And that will help you stay awake. But if you want to lie down, feel free to do that. If this helps you get to sleep and get some needed rest, well, then that's great too. And of course, you can listen to it afterwards on the podcast or on YouTube. It's entirely up to you. All right, that's our first one. That's breath work. Really easy to do. It's all about getting those deep breaths. It's about getting control of your breathing, and this can help you return to a state of homeostasis, your natural level of being. Let's move on to mindfulness. Now, mindfulness is one of those things many people have preconceptions about. Might have heard the term, might have been to a few classes, might have a little understanding about it. Sometimes people think it's to stop ourselves thinking. You'll never, ever stop yourself thinking. That's what mind does. That's what it's all about. Thoughts, 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 thoughts. Think about it. Close your eyes. Just listen to the sounds around you. Those sounds will have your mind activated. It's listening out for problems, listening out for danger. With your eyes open, it's doing the same thing. And you're making decisions all the time, things around you. Same with touch, same with taste. So it's really important that by closing your eyes, you can now reduce your senses and the information coming in. And there are thousands and thousands and thousands of bits of information coming in. And your reticular activating system helps you to focus that and just get the information that you're after. Look that up, reticular activating system, often called the RAS, R-A-S. And this helps you find, here you go, here's a nice example. If you've been thinking of buying yourself a silver car, let's go, a Jaguar, this is in the USA. Looking for a silver Jaguar. Next thing you know, you're seeing them all over the place. Or you're looking for a red Porsche, or Porsche, some people say. And now you see them everywhere you go. That's your reticular activating system, bringing your focus to the things you're looking for. And so that's why it's so important to focus on what you want rather than what you don't want, because the reticular activating system, if you're saying, I don't want a red Porsche, I don't want a red Porsche, I don't want a red Porsche, you're going to start seeing red Porsches everywhere you go, because actually you're saying red Porsche. So it's always looking for what you're thinking about. Look, if I say to you, don't think about your kitchen right now, or don't think about a pink elephant right now, the chances are you get that image in your head right away. Don't think about your kitchen is in your mind. Don't think about a pink elephant, and a pink elephant is in your mind. And the reticular activating system works in exactly the same way, and it's helped us to find what it is we're looking for, whether we want it or not. So keep your focus on what you want. But let's get back to deliberate practice. Let's first of all make a deliberate practice out of mindfulness. So I'm going to start by asking you to close your eyes once again, get comfortable in your chair, put your hands on your legs, have a little stretch of your back if you need to. If you've been sat in a chair all day, long drive home, something of that nature, then feel free to have a nice stretch right now. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose, hold on to it, and let it out through the mouth. Okay, with your eyes closed, start to listen. I'll take the music away. Start to listen to the noises around you. Perhaps you can hear the TV in the room that you're in. Maybe it's next door. Maybe the kids are running around. Maybe you can hear the neighbours. I'm going to ask you to take your hearing outside of the room that you're in, outside of the building that you're in, and listen to the furthest sound you possibly can. Maybe you can hear traffic in the distance. Maybe you can hear people walking past your home. Maybe you can hear planes flying overhead. Listen out for the furthest sound that you possibly can. And just focus on that for a moment. Pay attention to the sound. Is it really quiet? Is it pretty darn loud? Can you tell what it is easily, or have you got to really focus? Are you half guessing what it is? What images does it conjure up in your mind's eye? So perhaps you're lucky enough to live near the ocean and you can hear the water crashing on the beach. Maybe you live in a city and you can hear the traffic outside, and every now and again you can identify it's a motorbike or a lorry, a truck. Maybe you can even identify the chuk 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 of like a Harley Davidson, a big engine bike, or a little and a high-pitched, tiny little 50cc, 100cc bike. Now bring your attention inside the room and listen to the closest sound that you can find, the closest sound that you can find. Let's see if you can hear your own breathing. And if you can't, maybe just breathe a little heavier so that you can. Bear in mind, I cannot see you, I cannot hear you. So feel free to make noise. Please keep your eyes closed, because we don't want to go to the other senses yet. Okay, now again, if you notice that your thoughts do wander, which may not happen because this is a guided meditation, a mindfulness meditation. So as I'm guiding you through the exercise, you listen to my voice, and that might keep you focused. But if it doesn't, if you do think about dinner, if you do think about what happened today, if you are thinking about your other half, mum, dad, brother, sister, whoever it may be, then the moment you recognize that your attention has moved away from this, just bring it back. Just bring it back. Okay, now let's take our attention to smell. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. See if you can smell anything. What can you smell in the room? Maybe you could smell the coal fire or the wood fire. Maybe you have a pet and you can smell the pet, the cat, the dog. Maybe dinner's being cooked and you can smell that. Maybe you've got a window open, you're in a city and you can smell the fumes. Maybe you've got one of those air fresheners that goes off every 15 or 30 minutes. Scares the hell out of anyone walking past it. Maybe you can smell that. Maybe you like to burn incense while we're doing this. It's helping you feel really relaxed and restful in a place of well-being. Okay, take your attention now to your sense of touch. Just let your fingers move around gently on your legs. They should be on your top of your legs right now. You can move them up or down, or just move your fingers around. And without opening your eyes, think about the fabric of whatever you're wearing. It could be jeans, trousers, a skirt, shorts. What can you feel beneath your fingers? Maybe if it's shorts, it is your legs. Is the skin smooth? Does it feel dry? Is it hairy? What does it feel like? Does the fabric feel smooth or bumpy? Is it cool or is it warm? Is it really soft to the touch like silk? Does it feel a little hairy because it's wool? Just pay exquisite attention to all the tiny details that you can feel. Okay, let's go to taste. I'll be quick on this because there's not a great deal to do right here, right now. But maybe if you focus on your mouth, you can taste dinner that you've had a little earlier. Maybe you ate gum on the way home, you can still taste that. Maybe you cleaned your teeth before we did this practice. But this is one that you can practice again in public. You could be eating a meal and really savor every little morsel. Instead of wolfing down your meal, pay attention to the flavors. Try to identify different flavors. Maybe I'll give you an example. Beans on toast. You can taste the sugar in the sauce. Paying attention to the texture of the beans. Maybe you like to put some fresh pepper on them and you can taste the pepper. It's tingling away, burning your tongue. Maybe you like hot sauce like I do. I love my hot sauce. Pay attention to that. Now, if you don't like savoury things, what about chocolate? Just let that melt in your mouth. You could do that tonight while you're watching a film, watching television, reading a book. Just allow that chocolate to melt gently in your mouth. Feel the texture, feel all the flavours. Okay, finally we're going to go back now to the eyes. So I'm going to ask you to open your eyes. Now I want you to focus on something that's just in front of you. Or if it's nothing really in front of you, turn to left or right and look for something. It could be the wall, it could be wallpaper, it could be a painting, it could be an ornament that you've got. It really doesn't matter, just focus on it. Take a look at the colours and really notice the shades of colour. Is it one colour? Like yellow, for example, can be mustard, it could be gold, it could be a greeny yellow. There's all sorts of different shades of colour. And then once you've identified the actual shade of the colour, is it patterned? Does it have a texture? Use your eyes to feel it out. Use your eyes to see it from different points of view. So don't just think, oh, it's a cushion, oh, it's a pillow, oh, it's a headboard, oh, it's a painting. Really notice all the little details. Is it flat? If you were to rub your fingers over it, and just use your imagination, your mind's eye, would it feel smooth? Would it feel warm? Would it feel cold? Just pay attention to it right now. Now again, you can use this when you're at work. You could be on a train, on a bus. Obviously, be careful when you're driving, but you can pay a lot of attention to things around you. The car in front, pay more attention to it. You might notice road signs that you've seen day after day after day after day, month after month, and wow, I never noticed that before. So look out for different things. And if you know you're going into, let's say, a meeting or a staff meeting or a difficult meeting, or you're going to see a client, all of these techniques that I'm sharing with you right now give you a chance to get really focused and to calm down. And let's say you are going into a meeting and you're already telling yourself, well, this is going to be difficult, this is going to be a tough one. Well, you're kind of setting yourself up for failure. You've heard the term self-fulfilling prophecy. So tell yourself you're going to do the very best you can do. Make it as positive as possible. Listen, sometimes there are difficult things to do. And I'm not telling you to go into a difficult meeting. So it's going to be easy, going to be easy, going to be easy. You can try that, see how it goes. But you don't want to set yourself up for saying it is going to be difficult, it is going to be a failure, it is going to be a disaster, if that may not be the truth. And often our mind can lie to us. Often we tell it. I bet you can think of an example right here, right now, when you've told yourself this is going to be really, really bad, this is not going to go well, and then you were surprised because it was all right. Oh. So sometimes we create stories in our head. I like to say, follow the dream, not the drama. Follow the dream, not the drama. Or follow the desire, not the drama. So think about what it is, the outcome that you would like, the desire, the outcome that you would like, rather than the disaster that you think might be coming. Does that make sense? Okay. And let's bring that to an end. That's our mindfulness. And again, you can just use any one of those. We're using all five senses to tap into something specifically. And think about it. If you've got a favorite hobby, let's say, just for an example, knitting. When you're knitting away, all your attention is on the knitting. That is a form of mindfulness. Because if your attention is completely and utterly on something, then you are in mindfulness. That's a good place to be. And the hours seem to fly by and you can't believe it. I knit the whole jumper, I can't believe it. Or maybe you like art, maybe you like painting or drawing. And before you know it, it's 3 hours you spent and you just can't believe that the time has gone so quickly. Or maybe you have a partner and you've gone out for a day together and you're having so much fun, the time has flown. Anything of this nature where you feel completely invested in the moment is a form of mindfulness. And that joy, that happiness, that peace is really where we want to try and be all the time. This is your state of grace. And you might find that you feel that way when you're driving. You might feel that way when you're horse riding or out on your bicycle, when you're swimming, when you're running, when you're chatting to somebody. The moment you are completely and utterly engaged with the moment, you're in your state of grace. That's another kettle of fish, and I will do maybe next week. Maybe I'll do state of grace as our focus. That sounds like a good idea. If I remember, that's what we'll do. Okay, I want to move on to the last part now. So this is going to be our meditation. So again, this is one of the areas lots of people have preconceptions. They think, oh, I've tried meditation. I know what meditation is. Maybe you've done meditation via a YouTube channel. Maybe you've been to classes. Maybe I'll do it differently. So there are lots of different ways to meditate, but ultimately, again, it's about the breath work. And most importantly, that's why I like to call this the deepest dive. This is now not just the way that you're breathing, not just the way that you're thinking, but it also connects you now with the body. And it's about the way you are feeling. And feelings are a very important part of the equation. Mind mastery and emotional management. You get these two in the right place, and you can start living the life of your dreams. Mind mastery and emotional management. Very, very important. Okay, let's take the opportunity right now to go into our meditation. Once again, I want you to get nice and comfortable. If you feel like you've been sat for some time now, before we get going, you might just want to stand up and have a little shake it all out. Maybe you don't need to stand up, you just want to shake your shoulders, something of that nature. Get really, really comfortable. Put your feet on the floor. By the way, your feet, you can have shoes on, socks on, you can just have socks on, you can have no shoes or socks on. It really doesn't matter. I just want you to be comfortable. Personally, I'm a big fan of no shoes and socks, feet on the floor. But obviously, you've got a very cold floor. That might not work for you. So just do what makes you feel comfortable. And when you're ready, close your eyes. Okay, moving into the very last part of this workshop. Take the opportunity right here, right now, to take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And as you let it out, just make that noise. Imagine as you're letting the air out, all the negativity, any anxiety, any tension you've got coming out. So again, nice deep breath in through the nose. And as you let it out through the mouth, just make a sound and let it go. Release any tension or negativity that you may have. Now, I want you to imagine a few inches in front of your eyes, 4, 5, 6 inches away, is a tiny little sunshine. Think of it as being the size of either a ping pong ball or a tennis ball, and it's sitting 4, 5, 6 inches in front of you, rotating gently. But it's a miniature sunshine, and so you can feel the heat radiating from it and coming down onto your face. And it feels good. You've got white light or golden light coming off of this sunshine. And at the moment, just allow the beams of light to focus on your eyes. And as you feel that heat on your eyes, allow those rays of sunshine to penetrate through your eyelids and literally envelop your eyes. Feel the light going in through the eyelids and all the way around your eyeballs. Feels good. Very restful, very relaxing. Helping you to really, really relax. Now that sunshine is building up two wells, two little pools of light on your eyelids. And they're getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And as they build up, I want you to think of them now spreading gently. The pools are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, deeper and deeper and deeper. And now the light starts to spread across your face. And let's focus on it now moving upward and going onto the bridge of the nose. And now taking it up onto the forehead. And just imagine for a moment that light, that white light, that golden light from that little ball of sunshine is now starting to massage your forehead. And that feels good. That feels so good. If you want to, put your thumbs on your temples. Just allow your fingers to massage your forehead. And if you've got any tension, any pains, any anxiety, any stress, allow it to dissipate. Imagine it evaporating now into thin air. Just release it, let it go. Because a lot of that tension is just what you're thinking. You are responsible for your thoughts. I know we like to blame other people for what they've done to us or what happened. If they hadn't done this, I wouldn't feel this way. But the fact is you feel that way because of the way you allow your thoughts to go. If you're telling yourself that he or she is winding you up, he or she did you a disservice, you create the story in your mind. The drama is building. And remember, we want to focus on the dream, not the drama. Focus on the destiny, focus on the desire, but not the drama. Now take that energy beyond the temples, beyond the forehead, now up onto the top of the head. And imagine that massaging the top of your head. It feels good. It's very restful. It's very relaxing. You can feel the love coming off of that warm energy. That continues over the top of your head, coming down the back of your head now, down to the back of your neck. And you can almost feel like someone's massaging the back of your neck. It feels good. A lot of people hold their energy here, their negative energy, their stress, often in the back of the neck. Taking the energy now down to the shoulders, left and right. And again, this is an area where so many, pay attention, maybe your shoulders are lifted up right now. Just drop them, allow them to drop. If you've just done that, if you felt your shoulders drop, then you know you've moved in, you've shifted into a state of grace, into a state of relaxation. And what's more interesting is the fact that even though you were doing meditation, your shoulders were still upright because you were still stressed. And this may well be where you are most of the day. So drop those shoulders. Continue breathing at your own pace. Now we're going to take the energy down the right arm. So from the right shoulder into the upper part of the arm, feel that energy coming down, rotating around your arms, the biceps, the triceps. Imagine them being massaged by the energy on the outside and the inside of your skin, massaging the muscles, coming down towards the elbow. If you've got any aches or pains in those elbows, allow that energy to be released. Taking the energy now from the elbow down through the right forearm. Imagine in your mind's eye rotating, going all the way around, spiraling around your forearm, coming into the wrist. Maybe you've got aches or pains in the wrist. Let it be released. Let the aches and pains dissipate. Let them go. And now continue taking the energy into the right hand, into the palm of the hand now. And imagine a beam of light coming out through your thumb. Now through your first, second, third, and fourth fingers. Now you've got 5 beams of light coming out of the right hand. Let's do the same now from the left shoulder. Energy from the left shoulder coming down across the top of the upper part of the arm, rotating round and round and round, massaging the biceps, the triceps, coming into the elbow now. If you've got any aches or pains, allow them to be released and continue down through the forearm, rotating down on the outside, penetrating the skin, massaging the muscles, coming down now towards the wrist, from the wrist into the palm of the hand, and imagine the light coming out through the left thumb, and then your first, second, third, and fourth fingers. 5 beams of light coming out now through that left hand. That feels amazing. So now your entire head, your shoulders, and down through your arms are just lit up. You can almost in your mind's eye see the aura coming off of your body, seeing that aura of energy. Now let's continue our journey. Let's go back to the back of the neck, bringing energy now, continuous energy coming from that ball of sunshine up over the top of the head, down through the neck, into the shoulders. Now we bring that energy through to the front of the body and we go down over the chest, over the rib cage. Imagine that light, that energy now going inside the rib cage and loving your heart, loving your lungs. Coming down over the rib cage now, onto the belly, over the belly. Coming down towards the hips. And now imagine that light rotating all the way around, just where your belt is, round and round and round and round it goes. Spinning around, rotating your hips. Now let's go back, focus the energy on the back of the neck. This is an important one now. We're going to come down the spine, vertebra by vertebra. And lots of people will have anxiety here. Lots of people will have stress in their back. Allow the energy to come down vertebra by vertebra, one by one by one. Gently coming down the back of the spine. Help me to relax. It's almost like a hot shower coming down the back. Sit up straight if you need to. If you're uncomfortable, have a little stretch. Down vertebra by vertebra by vertebra by vertebra. And if you can, imagine between each of those bones, each of those vertebrae, imagine the cushions rehydrating all day long. Getting dehydrated. Now rehydrate them. Feel those cushions working your way down the spine. Coming towards the very end, the very tail of your spine now. And now bring that energy back to the belt line, back to your hips. Round and round and round it goes. So now the entirety of your upper part of the body is submersed in this gorgeous golden white light. From your eyes to the top of your head, to the back of your neck, down through the arms, down through the torso, down through your back, all the way down to your belt line. Now let's take that energy. Let's go to the right buttock, taking it from the belt down into the right buttock. Let's bring it forward now over that big muscles, those big muscles at the top of the leg. And in your mind's eye, imagine the light rotating around the leg, massaging the muscles. Coming down into the knee. If you've got aches and pains in that knee, allow them to be reduced. Let them evaporate. Down now through the lower part of the leg, coming down into the ankle. From the ankle into the ball of the foot. From the ball of the foot into the arch of the foot. And now the flat of the foot. And now see the beams of light come out through the big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. 5 beams of light coming out for that right foot. And now go to your left buttock. Feel that energy now coming down to the left part of your leg. Over those big muscles, heading down towards the knee. Just rotating round and round and round, having you to relax and feel good. Into that knee now, massaging the knee, releasing any aches or pains you may have. Down into the legs, down into the shins, the calves, into the ankle, from the ankle into the ball of the foot, the flat of the foot, coming through now the big toe, a beam of light, like a laser of light coming out through the big toe, the second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. Now your entire body is submerged in this light. For a moment, just linger, like being under a hot shower, in a hot tub, or in a bath of relaxing water. Just feel good. Put a smile on your face. Just feel happiness running through your body now. You are in the flow. Feel that energy flowing through your body, in through the eyes, up over the head, down the back of the neck, through the shoulders, into the arms, out the hands, coming down through the torso, the front, the back, down to the hips, through the legs, past the knees, down through the ankles and into the foot. 5 beams of light coming out of each foot now. And you are feeling great. You feel really at ease. You feel completely and utterly at peace. You feel at home. Any stress you had, you've forgotten about it. Any anxiety you had, you've forgotten about it. Any tension or pressure you had, you've forgotten about it. Something wound you up today, let it go. Someone annoyed you today, let it go. Because if you are angry, if you are stressed, you're the one that's suffering. If you don't let it go, you continue to suffer. There's an old saying, it's often attributed to Buddha. I don't know how true that is or isn't, but certainly the saying makes complete and utter sense. If you pick up a hot coal to throw at someone else, you are the one that suffers because you burn your own hand. Just think about that for a moment. You pick up a hot coal to throw at someone else, to hurt them, but you're the one that burned your own hand. And that's what's happening if you hold on to stress, if you hold on to anger, if you hold on to anxiety, if you keep thinking about yesterday or the week before, or the year before, or decades ago, holding on to something that happened when you were a child. You hold on to these things, you are the one that's getting hurt. So let them go. Let them go. I'm not saying forget them. I'm not saying they didn't happen. You just don't need to think about them all day, every day. It happened. Now move forward. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I know that will be difficult, especially if you've been thinking a particular way year after year after year. Then you've built that motorway of neural pathways in your head. And to stop that is difficult. Now, the best way to stop that is not to try and stop it. It's to start driving. I'm going to use the analogy of a motorway. Start driving on a different road. Start driving on that small pathway. Start walking on it. And from walking, you start now again and again and again. They flatten the grass, you turn it into mud. You now make a cement pathway. You now get to a B road, an A road. And with time, it'll become the dual carriageway and then the motorway. And now that's your new modum operandi, your new operating system. So don't try to stop old thoughts, replace them. It's really good advice. And when you're thinking negatively, focus on the positive. Don't try to stop thinking negatively because you're thinking negatively. Stop thinking about that and think about the opposite, perhaps. Think about the result you do want, not the result you don't want. Okay, take a nice final deep breath in through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let it out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm bringing M7, My Mind Matters, to an end this evening. I hope you found it useful. Again, we're many weeks into this now, so feel free to go to engagewithsuccess.com. Click on the resources button and you'll be able to then access all of the, what they call these sessions, all of the workshops that we've offered so far. Newsletters, you can look those up as well, and you can find lots of information. You'll find other teachers, you'll find other podcasts. I put all sorts of inspiration there that I've learned over the years, and I'd like you to have access to it as well. So I look forward to seeing you next Monday. I hope you can join us. It's live on Mondays at 7. If you can't get to it live, then watch it afterwards. And all the information you need is on engagewithsuccess.com. This is your coach, Paul Beck, signing off for another week.